All right, so here we are back again. Same table, same guys, different topic. So anyway, I got a question for you, man. I've got a lot of people that come to me and like, I just don't like smoking weed. I don't like the feeling that I get from it. I get couch locked. I just sit there and I want to eat bonbons, or I go to sleep, or I feel real heavy and stuff like that. And I'm like, I get that because I've had that before, but I don't have that anymore. And the only thing that I could attribute it to is I know where it's coming from now. So I want to ask you, why does that happen, and what's going on?
It's a tricky question, but it basically comes down to chemistry. So what happens is, I always tell the story about when I remember people always telling me, I found this old sack of weed in my drawer and I took it out and I smoked it and I just got stupid. I got sat on the couch, fell asleep, and it just didn't feel the same. And that's because I go back to the whole thing. You gotta treat it like a vegetable. The reason why you like what I do is because I keep it fresh. So what happens with THC in general is when it oxidizes, it converts to what's called CBN. So CBN is that couch lock you. Now don't get me wrong, some guys like that, and I have some products that'll put you right to sleep. So there is a reason to have that, but for your daily, if you have a life, kids, and all these things, that's the last thing you want. Is to be couch locked and sit there. Again, I know a lot of my stoner friends are gonna say, man, that's what I like the most. Great. But for the most general population, that's not what we're looking for.
Right.
But so basically what it is the oxidation or the degradation of the plant as it gets older. If you took a vegetable, a broccoli, something, you let it get out there, those nutrients are degrading every second. The same thing happens with this plant. Right. So again, that's why I think the vape craze is taking off, because I can control that level and stop that level, and I can keep that up feeling. I can get exactly what I want into that level and keep it stays with chemistry. Okay. So it really just comes down to knowing your grower, knowing where you get it. Now we can touch on some other stuff, because you could have some strains. Now strains and terpenes can cause some CBN, because now some terpenes like say myrcene. So when people say indica or sativa, so when they're talking about an indica means you've got more, a sativa means you got less than 5% myrcene. Myrcene's a terpene now that will drop you into that feeling, that will give you that real couchy feeling.
So I think what I'm hearing there is that you treat this plant similar to the way of like having fresh alkaline water, having the freshest vegetables from your produce department, also making sure that they're organic and that they're not using pesticides. So you want to do the same thing here. It's like a direct correlation, and it's all
the same wave. It's the same wave. Yeah. Especially like with your waters. Like I'm into that too, because it's all about the pH. Yeah. It's all about the alkalinity of what we eat and control, because our body is mostly water. Yeah. You know what I mean? So whenever you add something to it, you're going to get a big change. So by adding something better to it, you're going to get that change. Right. So in that sense, yes. I think that in my world, what I tend to do is control it with strains that give me either the higher levels of THC or CBD I'm looking for, or if I'm looking for a certain terpene, you know what I mean? To give it that, which I guess that brought up something, because you when I talk about the alkaline water, the pH, me controlling my pH in my water of what I feed my plants is also controlling the nutrient uptake. So when I want a certain nutrient uptake, we'll say nitrogen, and for my plant while it's vegeting, I use more of a lower pH in the 5.2, 5.5 range. Why? Because nitrogen uptakes better at that level. When as later in the plant, when I want to give it more phosphate, when we're potassium, when we're getting those levels, that needs a higher pH, which is no different than our bodies. So all I do is treat that plant like it's its own creation, and I feed it in a level like I would feed you. So I feed the soil all these things, and I let the plant just absorb it as it needs it. Awesome. And so I actually can see a great correlation with that. Yeah.
This is why it fits so well, and why I'm trying to expose this, because everybody's been looking at this leaf as it's some monster that's going to come out and bite them and take their family away or get arrested. It's like, let's not look at that anymore. It doesn't have to be this big demonized thing that society and politicians or the medical world has made it to be. Pharmaceutical. I mean, you name it. I mean, come on, guys. I want you guys to understand, and if you're watching this video, you probably do understand, but for those of you that don't understand, this thing is, you have to treat it like a vegetable. You have to understand this is something that your body already wants and is already prepared to receive. And so let me ask you something. If I didn't like the taste of water, do you think it'd be smart if I didn't just drink any water at all?
No.
Probably be pretty dumb, right? I'd probably end up in a bad position. Now, you're not going to end up in that bad of a position if you don't get in the cannabis, whether it's CBD, THC, or the combination of both. You're not going to, it's not going to be detrimental. But if your body needs it and wants it and requires it to have certain levels of performance and health and wellness for yourself, don't you think it'd be pretty smart to consider starting using these products?
I'm almost, you know, maybe because of my passion, I almost take it to the even more extreme. I can't see how we don't add this to our diet. I mean, how do you find something that so matches our body so well and it's been taken from us so long? How do we not put that into our body? Like, I almost feel it's irresponsible. Now I go back to kids. I go, yeah, I'm by any means trying to get your kids high or anything like that, but your kids need to get some hemp products in them. They need to start eating hemp seeds just like our forefathers did. They need that hemp protein in them just like our forefathers did. You know what I mean? There are reasons why our body. One thing a doctor told me one time that I felt really interesting. My grandpa actually just passed away. He was just turning 100. Beautiful life. And one thing the doctor told me when they were doing all the testing and stuff, he said the DNA of my grandfather has a more hemp-based DNA. If you were to take our DNA today, we have more corn-based DNA. That's something that as a society we've done to ourselves. You wonder why all these autoimmune problems we're having. Corn doesn't fit in our body. But if you look at everything you ever eat, you look at everything you ever get into, and you take every box out of your cupboard right now, and there's something corn-based in it because it's cheaper. Because we made deals with Russia and China that they could grow the hemp. I mean, I don't want to get all political because that's something I think you guys should do your own information on. I think I know probably too much.
Probably.
It hurts my head sometimes to know.
I can imagine.
But you said something that really touched on me that, you know what, you really do need to get this. I think you have a responsibility to you, to your family.
My family.
I tell everybody it gets, you know that. Anybody gets around me, please just somehow get in your diet. Don't worry about my product. Go find it yourself.
Yeah. Well, and that's a great point. I mean, we're talking about, you know, introducing this to our family and children and stuff, and that's a pretty, you know, shocking thing to absorb. Now, don't apologize for that because that is valuable information. Now, I'm not introducing it into Aubrey's diet, but she does know what this is, and she does know what Daddy does, and she also knows what it can do to me if I abuse it, and she knows what it can do to her friends if they choose to try this or abuse it. I'm very transparent in that, but she also knows how great this plan is and what it's doing for me because she sees the massive progress and she sees that I'm using the products, whether it's the creams or the tinctures or the pills or the vape pens. I'm using it all. In fact, and I'm putting this wonderful leaf into my smoothies and I'm juicing and I'm doing this stuff, and we're going to show you ways to do that, and we're even working on ways to get it straight to your doorstep. So we're going to conclude this little video on this one, but we're going to come back with some more information for you.